Okay, hi Nitin. How are you? Welcome on the SaaS Talk.
Hey, Evan, thank you so much for having me here. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So Nitin, let's start with your journey, like what you're doing, what you're building, and how things are going. If you can, give idea.
Sure. So I'm currently building EasyLeadz, which is a SaaS product helping salespeople, marketeers, and recruiters in finding the right contact information across the world. We essentially help 1.4 lakh businesses who are relying on our product and solutions to find and to connect with other peoples and other professionals, find the right quality information, discover the companies that match their ideal customer personas, and then reach out to them. That's what we essentially solve for them. And it's been 4 years running the EasyLeads company as such. And the product that we've launched, it's been 2 years almost that we've launched the product, which is the Mr. V product, which is known by a lot of users now. And उससे पहले की journey तो बहुत different है. I started way back in 2015. If you want, I can talk about that also.
Yeah, definitely. So I would definitely like to know how was the journey, how you, started this easy lead, how you started into, that SaaS product and all.
Sure. I mean, your journey कभी भी ना it doesn't happen in a day. So my journey started when I was a kid because that time I was very curious about Dexter Labs, the famous cartoon. So I was so inspired by Dexter that I tried to dig a hole with my friend in an open ground and tried to create our own Dexter Lab. And we were so innocent kids. We dug a hole of 5-6 feet. We after school we used to go together. Start digging. एंड 2-3 दिन लग गए हमें डिगिंग करते करते 5-6 फीट तक हम गए एंड द नेक्स्ट डे बारिश आ गई सो ऑल द एफर्ट्स and maybe we were so naive that we didn't realize that it was never a practical idea but
Right.
we did that and then we gave up on that idea of creating our own basement textile laboratory in a illegal property which is not owned by us so that's how it started so back then in school I used to create science projects. I used
Mm.
to have all these electronic diodes and capacitors, do a soldering of different components together on a PCB, and was so curious about learning new things at that time. So created new products, got published in some magazines at that time. That's how
Mm.
the seed of entrepreneurship came in. But then life happened, and I joined college, I did my mechanical engineering, and joined a company called as Kuka Robotics, wherein I was helping the company in developing solutions or
Mm.
selling solutions, perhaps for manufacturing companies for automating their production lines. So we were deploying
Okay.
robots in the production line, like Maruti, Honda, all these manufacturing units have different robots to build, cars and
Mm.
sceneries. So we were responsible for understanding how a robot can automate a production line. So that is what we were doing. And but then doing it for 4 years, I realized I wanted to do something of my own because that has always been a dream to build something that I always been into building stuff, creating some stuff which I love. And so I joined IIT Delhi to do my master's, my MBA. I chose IIT Delhi because the wave of entrepreneurship was very prominent in IIT. At that time,
Right.
Flipkart was emerging. At that time, Snapdeal emerged out of IIT Delhi. Zomato was also emerging. Quicker was also emerging. So all of these famous companies were coming out of IIT Delhi. So I thought, what other better way would be to take a break from my job and then go to a place where entrepreneurship is booming. So that's why I decided to go to IIT, join their entrepreneurship club, headed the industry interaction committee, wherein I got a chance to meet all these famous entrepreneurs because I invited them to talks such as
Mm.
this. And वहां से interaction हुआ but then I started my first company Get My Looks which
Okay.
is what Urban Clap is doing now so we
Mm.
started out a similar model but before Urban Clap came into picture and so it was similar wherein a beauty service professional will go to a customer's place they will do the waxing haircut all of these things it was getting covered good coverage was happening we were getting good orders every day a lot of investors committed to invest but eventually, unfortunate incident happened in Delhi at that time. In Uber car rape case happened in 2015.
Mm.
That became a very prominent, churcha at that time. Even Parliament was discussing the security
Mhm.
loopholes in these companies. कि यार कोई भी
Right.
freelancer किसी के घर जा सकता है और कुछ भी कर सकता है. There is no security measure. So we thought कि यार जब Uber नहीं संभाल पाया $1 billion जेब में होने के बाद तो as young kids how we are going to survive or manage this kind of threat in
Right.
the world. So we shut it off and then we started again a week back another company called as Sponsify Me, wherein we were connecting brand managers with event managers because at
Mm-hmm.
IIT I was doing a lot of events. So as a part of that, we had struggles always to find sponsors. So I thought if IIT Delhi at such repute cannot really get sponsors at ease, I'm sure there are many events that are happening around the world which are going to face the same kind of challenge. On the other side,
Correct.
brands were also there who wanted to spend but they didn't know how to reach out to the right events. So we created a
Correct.
marketplace like Shadi.com but for brands and events. Um,
Nice.
so we did that. We scaled it to around 300 brands. We got even IFA awards on board. But it was becoming more of an agency.
Okay.
Marketing agency ज़्यादा बन रही थी rather than a tech product or a tech company. So
Mm-hmm.
one fine day, अब हम लग तो रहा था कि यार क्या करें, अब scale कैसे करें इसको. So we wanted to reach out to more brand managers because we wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get all these brands on board. So one fine day we were discussing, me and my co-founder Amit, and we thought कि ठीक है एक ऐप बना देते हैं. उस ऐप को रिलीज कर देंगे और वो क्राउड सोर्सिंग कर लेगा कॉन्टैक्ट्स की, और बदले में उन्हीं लोगों को हम कॉन्टैक्ट्स दे देंगे जिन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया. सो इट वाज नॉट एन इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट इजी लीड्स एज सच, but
Okay.
we just wanted to have some data because we wanted that
Mm-hmm.
data for our other company that we were doing at that time. So we
Right.
created the app in 2 days. We launched it in Delhi startups community,
Mm-hmm.
and in just 5-6 days we got almost 1,000 users without promoting, without doing anything.
Huge.
And we got 3.5 lakh contacts crowdsourced from
Mm-hmm.
users. फिर हमें लगा यार कुछ अलग ही ये हो गया है. Unintentionally we created something which is even more powerful. So
Right.
that's when we decided to build easy leads rather, and do something about the data problem. But उसके अंदर भी जर्नी आसान नहीं थी. It took us almost 3 years to build various products as a part of easy lead
Mm-hmm.
suite. We in fact got on board to reach to Y Combinator also. उन्होंने भी हमें बोला कि यार आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है दैट इज मोर सुटेबल फॉर यूएस मार्केट, नॉट फॉर इंडियन मार्केट, बट हमें इंडिया के लिए कुछ करना था. सो
Correct.
cut to short, then eventually finally in 2020 January we launched the product Mr. E, which is now adopted by almost 1.4 1.5 lakh businesses without any spend on marketing. And that is how easily it's happened with an accident. And बस फिर उसके बाद sales का तो हमेशा से ही था, because I've been into sales for the previous organization. I was doing sales at IIT also, selling events to sponsors, selling events to speakers. So all of that experience and exposure was anyways there, because every company, every business, every event, anything that you do, you need contacts. And
Mm-hmm.
India में the biggest challenge or cultural difference is that we love to talk on phone. We are not really, species that are more keen on talking over emails
Right.
or chats. यूएस में, यूके में पीपल आर मोर कंफर्टेबल इन चैट्स. स्लैक पे मैसेज भेज दिया, काम हो गया, 1 मिनट की बात करनी होती है. बट यहाँ पे हमें मेल भेज के भी होता है कि पहले फोन कर दें, उसको बता दें कि मेल भेजा है, चेक कर लीजिए.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's
True.
the biggest barrier, right? Or maybe a cultural difference. कि हमें बात करना ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है. So the challenge was how we can connect people faster.
Right.
And the easiest way obviously is to connect them over phone calls, because phone सब उठाते हैं, phone पे ज़्यादातर लोग available होते हैं. That is how Mr. E, which is the Chrome extension, came into being. We launched it in January 2020. Since then, we have, as I said, almost 1.5 lakh business users who are using it. We haven't spent any money on marketing. Whatever is happening, it's happening because of our organic reach, organic content, or word of mouth and reference.
So, Nitin, just for your information, I also have used Mr. E, and there are lots of viewers who have used Mr. E so far, and it's a great product, like literally great product. I would also like to know, as a founder, what kind of challenges you face when you are launching a SaaS product, especially a market, as you mentioned, like, Y Competitor also said that this is a perfect fit for the US market, and there are lots of companies who are doing in US market. Apollo IO is there, and Rocket Reach is there, right? So, which kind of challenge you face when you launch a software SaaS company in this kind of domain?
So, do I have to talk about the Indian specific scenario, like challenges in India?
I love I love to hear that.
Sure. So, अगर हम इंडिया की बात करते हैं ना, तो इंडिया में people generally don't want to pay for softwares. Like if it enhances your productivity or efficiency, they still don't want to pay. Because कल्चर अगर आप देखोगे ना, तो हमें बैठे बिठाए चाय का कप मिल जाता है, राइट?
Correct.
घर वाले बना देते हैं, तो और सुबह सुबह उठ के खाना मिल जाता है. सो वी आर born and brought up in that way, that we don't want to save time, we want to save money. While
Correct.
in the other countries, you will realize that they spend money because they want to save time. They have money to spend, they wanted to save more time because उनको वहाँ सब कुछ खुद करना पड़ता है. तो वहाँ पे कोई मेड नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है, एंड दीज सर्विसेज आर वेरी कॉस्टली ओवर देयर. हमारे यहाँ पे 500 रुपए में सारा घर का सफाई हो जाता है, 1 महीने के लिए मेड
Correct.
रखो तो. So it's a huge difference in the way we are brought up. So the challenges of both these markets are different. इंडिया में तो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज होता है कि until unless it is absolutely a pain killer, product. If it's solving something which is a huge pain for someone, then only you can expect these guys to pay. If it's
Okay.
something which is just a vitamin or enhances your efficiency for 10-15%, people will not pay. While for US, they will still pay. If it is solving something, add some value, they will pay. Like there is
Right.
no such large adoption of Zapier, if you notice, in India.
Right.
While in other countries, Zapier is booming because people wanted to automate the manual stuff. यहाँ पे we just want to have 5,000 का intern रख लिया, ठीक है, उससे करा लेंगे. Manual काम तो वो करता रहेगा. So we
Right.
don't value time, we value money. So challenges सबसे बड़ा वही है कि cultural barrier जो होता है ना, आपको वो break करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. So इसीलिए you have to build something which is very very needful and people want it badly. अगर आपको इंडिया में कोई सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोडक्ट को सेल करना है तो which happened for us luckily because of the mystery tool. And people wanted to connect. As I said, दो तीन चीजें, टाइमिंग परफेक्ट था because
Mhm.
COVID happened at that time. So सबकी sales
Right.
obviously zero हो गई almost. If you notice, field sales zero हो गई. No one was visiting
True.
companies anymore.
True.
No one can afford to go to a restaurant or a company to sell their products. They have to have some digital channels. So that's the reason why contact number availability became even more problem. तो ये challenge जो था ना वो सबसे बड़ा कि how can we connect people. That challenge and timing became a very good fortunate factor for us to drive growth. So सबसे बड़ा challenge ये रहेगा कि कोई SaaS build करता है, so they have to understand whether it's a painkiller or it's just a vitamin. If I talk about India market.
Right, right. Nitin, one more thing, now as we all know, SaaS is booming. Recently, I mean, Zoho crossed 1 billion revenue, right? And which is a bootstrap company. So, but
Yeah.
as for you, what is the scenario of SaaS sales in India? Like, because nowadays I can see there's so many people who are coming in, but they're not so educated. They don't even know how to use tools like Mr. E, and they might be not even aware that there are tool who can find you the numbers, right? So, what
Right.
is the scenario of SaaS sales people in India?
So अगर आप देखोगे Zoho की आपने बात की, so even Zoho sells most of the solutions outside India.
Right,
Right? The major chunk of revenue comes outside because it's something which enhances your efficiency of the sales team. अभी क्या है ना कि people are still at a nascent stage. We are still struggling to solve the basic needs of the organizations, right? And one of the, as I said, basic need is finding contact number, right? They're still
right,
finding that. वही अभी adoption early stages पे है. So but because of the tech culture coming in, a lot of young folks getting into IT, digital transformation that has happened, geo that has happened, that has transformed the way we spread information, distribute
right,
content. A lot of creators are coming in, a lot of influencers are coming in, because they influence the mindset. Technology भी क्या चीज होती है. So all of these factors coming together are helping shape up the landscape for softwares or transformation as such. तो अगर मैं बोलूँ कि 5-7 साल में ना इंडिया can become what US or what outside other developed countries are doing when it comes to adopting software solutions. Because
right.
2 साल पहले only the large or the tech companies were adopting the softwares. आज की डेट में हम जब बात करते हैं कस्टमर से, small manufacturing companies who don't even have a sales team, they want to subscribe to the solutions that we have. So that's the trend,
Right.
that's the change that we are seeing in the last 2 years.
Perfect. So, Nitin, what else you have apart from Mr. E? Like, what other solution you are providing? What kind of other solution you are building?
So we have recently released a prospector platform,
Okay.
because, and what it does is Mystery works on LinkedIn and few other platforms. So you go to a profile of a person and you find contact data. But
Mhm.
if you look at India, there are almost 17 to 18 lakh active private limited or LLP companies in India. Out of which
Mhm.
you will find only 3 to 4 lakh companies have a presence on digital like LinkedIn. So
Right.
rest of the 13 to 14 lakh companies don't even have a website or social media presence. But
Sure.
everyone wants to sell to these companies. So so how do you reach out to them? So that's the reason we created Easy Prospect, which helps you discover these companies which are not even having any social presence. Very
Mhm.
hard to find, very challenging to even go to and find their LinkedIn or perhaps website. उनकी basic website भी नहीं होती है. So that's what
Mhm.
we have done. We released the Easy Prospect, wherein you can filter instantly in one click with different parameters: industry, employee size, company name, GST number, SIN number, and then instantly reach out to the directors. So that is what we have built. It's already been adopted by the very, very large companies, mid-sized companies, almost 30-40 customers we have got for that enterprise product that we have. उसी को अब scale कर रहे हैं, but on top of that we are building a lot of solutions. We are creating solutions कि हम beyond कैसे जाएं इसके. Abhi though we are in the business of providing you contact, but how can we enhance and make go one step further, wherein we create something that can not just give you contact but can directly fix up a meeting for you. कि मुझे
Right.
500 founders को reach out करना है. So rather than me cold calling them, how can I do something wherein I can just instantly put my request in Easy Prospect or Easy Leads, and the system or the bot picks up my calls with all these founders. So that's what we are trying to do. That's what we are innovating internally, so that we can scale or change the way how people connect, or how people book demos or book calls with their prospects.
It's impressing, Nitin. Like I must say that this is something which we required. Even like there's so many people. You rightly said that there's so many companies who are not present online, and we have to find out and we have to sell them, right? How you make sure that these data are accurate, and the numbers and emails and everything is correct? Because I was in call with Zoom Info, is one of the largest company in across globe, right, in this sector. And even they said that we are very accurate for the US and European market, but for Indian, even for the email IDs, we are 70% sure that this email will be the correct email IDs, right? So
Yeah.
how you are doing this, how, if you can go deep down and tell us something.
Sure. So Zoom Infoca, you mentioned, if you look at the G2 reviews, which is a rating website for all these software products,
Right.
our accuracy and contact availability coverage is by far the best compared to Zoom Info or even Lucia, perhaps the other players in the market. Zoom Info की तो 20-25 billion dollar की valuation है,
Right.
and they have 1,000 people in the team. I'm sure उससे भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है.
Right.
While with us, we have just 15 people in the team, and our coverage, our accuracy has been rated 4.8 out of 5 by almost 1,000 people, compared to other players जिनका हमसे कम है, जिनकी बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी टीम है, जिनके बहुत ज़्यादा लोग हैं. I think the biggest reason why we are able to do that is because we are here. We understand the local nuances of the market better. We know कि इंडिया मार्ट क्या है, वी नो कि फेसबुक इंडिया में लोग कैसे यूज करते हैं, वी नो कि ट्विटर कितना
Right.
लोग यूज करते हैं. सो वी अंडरस्टैंड द कल्चरल बाउंड्रीज ऑफ द इंडियन मार्केट, वी अंडरस्टैंड द मेंटालिटी, वी अंडरस्टैंड कि ऐसी भी कंपनीज होती हैं जो लिंक्डइन पे है ही नहीं, which is
Correct.
actually one of the challenge for people outside to understand whether there could be a potential way for us to deliver those. वो भी so the accuracy part is that we are very good in technology. We are very very solid in technology. We have built solutions, using artificial intelligence that can mine the web in such a scale, in such an interesting way, and not any contact or any processes that we do are manual. So we believe in saving time. As I said, we believe in automating as much as possible. Even if the whole team goes for a vacation for a month, nothing will stop at our company. Everything will still go smoothly. We don't have to rely on anyone to be present. Of course, people obviously want to talk if they want to have a personalized demo or anything, वो अलग चीज है. बट अगर कोई यूजर जाके प्रोडक्ट यूज करता है, खरीदता है, सब्सक्रिप्शन यूज करता है, they don't have to rely anywhere in the process at all on us. So we rely very heavily on technology, and we rely on users. So 1.5 lakh users है, अब हमने उनको पावर दे दी है, so they act as a community for us. So every contact that you fetch via the tool, you have the power to report that contact that it is not valid. So once you do that, your credit will be refunded back to you. So in a way, our
Okay.
community is contributing us on the contacts that are not accurate, and that's only 5 to 7% of the cases that it may not be accurate. So in 5-7% cases, with the community is there to help us, and that's one of the reason why people are adopting us more, because they understand कि एक trust है कि अगर मैंने यहाँ पे एक सब्सक्रिप्शन लिया, मेरे को 100 कॉन्टैक्ट मिले, तो 100 के 100 मेरे को एक्यूरेट ही मिलेंगे.
Correct. Nice, nice. So, one more thing, Nitin, you mentioned that you have only 15 people in team, right? How you're managing, with such a small team? Like, if you can say something like, how you're making sure that every person is delivering? Because recently, even today, I posted a content on LinkedIn, and in that I have mentioned that how this big company overhired people. All right.
Yeah,
For a one task, they have three people, and all three are not doing anything. They're just
yeah,
doing time pass and chill, and they think that this is the best job I can have. And
yeah.
then when bad time comes in, they all fired, right? So how you're doing this? Like what strategy you follow in terms of hiring and making sure that people are delivering what you need?
So सबसे important part है trust. You won't believe, अब तो थोड़ी सी ज्यादा हो गई है हमारी चीजें, but you won't believe that internally हमारी एक एक हफ्ता calls नहीं होती एक दूसरे से, बहुत बारी. We don't talk to each other a lot of times. We just know that they're working. ठीक है, उसको पता है क्या काम करना है, वो कर लेगा अपने आप. We don't track anything कि उसके लैपटॉप में हमने मॉनिटरिंग सॉफ्टवेयर डाल दिया कि वी चेकिंग whether they're active on their laptop or not, whether they're working or not. We don't do anything of that sort. One of the reason is trust. We share everything. They know how much money we are making. They have the access to the entire customer information. They have the access to the entire revenue information. It is not hidden whether I've made 1 lakh rupee today of revenue or 1.5 lakh. Everybody knows. Everybody can see it anytime they want. And sales, one person is sales, one person in support. मार्केटिंग मैं ही देखता हूँ, बस जो देखता हूँ मैं कंटेंट देखता हूँ. प्रोडक्ट में आई एम दी ओनली वन. Key account manager just one. Tech may we now hire two more people, but otherwise it was just one person handling the entire technology. That's
Yeah.
it. Being a tech company, we just had one person handling tech. That is the reason we we don't first of all believe or have a mindset blockage wherein we
Mhm.
think that Zoom Info has 1,000 people in their organization. If they are doing something with 1,000, how can we do it? We did that with one person in technology.
Right.
What these guys or perhaps other companies do it with hundreds of people in tech, and we innovate very fast. So there are no large processes or decision maker hierarchy. If today someone walks in into my room and tells me customer ये feature मांग रहा है, I'll just simply call up my CTO कि ये feature बनाना है. 15 मिनट में that feature is up. So this is how fast we work. We create solutions at the speed, lightning speed. We learn, we understand what the customers are asking us, and then we keep on creating a basis, learning from them. Yeah.
Nice, nice, Nitin. And this is what even I also believe, you have to make sure that whoever you have, they are giving, 200% to make sure that this startup is growing. Uh, Nitin,
वैसा
let's
भी नहीं
talk
कह
about
रहे हैं,
this.
टू बी ऑनेस्ट. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम 10-10 12-12 घंटे टीम काम करती है रोज. दस
Yeah,
साढ़े दस पे स्टार्ट द वर्क, 6 बजे 6:15 हमारी लास्ट कॉल होती है, बस उसके बाद कोई काम नहीं करता, मंडे टू फ्राइडे, दैट्स इट. ऑल्दो वी शुड डू मोर,
nice.
वी ऑब्वियसली शुड डू मोर. मेरे को ये लगता है कि जो हम इतने में इतना कुछ कर सकते हैं तो व्हाई नॉट वर्क मोर एंड ग्रो फास्ट. बट ठीक है, अभी इफ पीपल आर लविंग दैट वे एंड एंजॉयिंग देयर लाइफ, हैव अ गुड वर्क बैलेंस, आई थिंक दैट्स द वे टू ग्रो.
Right, right. And the way you are taking care of your teams, they will take care of your company,
Of
right?
course.
And this is how you will grow. Uh, Nitin, I'll also like to know, you create lots of content regarding sales and, you're making lots of informational content also. So, as per you, what you are doing different from the people who are there in Indian SaaS sales and which is helping you to grow faster and they are not doing that?
I honestly can't comment on what they are. SaaS का मुझे नहीं पता कि जैसे few of the profiles I follow. I think अभिषेक है, GrowX के हैं जो, I follow him. I like his content. In fact अभी 5 मिनट पहले I sent him a message. He released a video.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him a message that I like your content. Um, but what I don't like is people putting in Instagram reels on LinkedIn. I've seen that trend that's happening these days, wherein a girl comes up and then just puts up a Insta trending reel on, LinkedIn, and the content has no relevance whatsoever to what the reel is, to what the image is. So that's something that I don't like, to be honest. And then they grow fast compared to
Mm-hmm.
relevant content, because obviously people want attention or cheesy things or separate things out of their way. So sales में what I do is I try to have approach of give first. मुझे ये बहुत
Right.
अच्छी चीज लगती है that listening and giving is something that will bring you back a lot of value. Like I do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
giveaways. I release a lot of I would say valuable assets or information or companies less free of cost. Because what I believe is if you do something for the community, people will come back and contribute to you in a way that you can't even imagine. And that is one of the reasons why we have grown fast. I get 5 to 10 leads every day. मैं किसी को मैसेज नहीं करता कि हमारा प्रोडक्ट देख लो या ले लो. खुद लोग आते हैं और टाइम नहीं होता इतना कि मैसेज पढ़ पाऊँ मैं आधी बारी. तो बिकॉज आई गेट लॉट ऑफ डीएम्स. आई गो हियर एंड देयर. कभी प्रोडक्ट टीम के साथ डिस्कशन चल रही है, कभी मार्केटिंग के ऊपर मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मुझे क्या कंटेंट डालना है, कभी सेल्स वाले के साथ सेल रिव्यू चल रहा है. तो लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स ऑल दीज लीड्स गेट मिस्ड आउट. So that is something that community brings into you. If you keep on putting something which is valuable to the community, they will engage, they will like. If you start putting content just for the sake of being active there, I think वहाँ पे
Mm-hmm.
थोड़ा सा फिर issue create होने लग जाता है, because over time they will realize that it is just fad. It's
Right.
no value. So that's something that I feel. अगर मैं कोई content डालता हूँ तो मुझे खुद को बुरा लगता है कि यार ये तूने शायद गलत डाल दिया. मतलब if the community is not engaging with the content, then you should improve. I don't
Right.
feel कि यार मैं अपनी गलती निकालता हूँ उसमें, to be honest, कि यार ये गलत तुम्हें कंटेंट इसको और इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए. You should have some more valuable information in the content the next time you post.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Any plan to move towards CRM, sales CRM in future maybe?
Not a full-fledged CRM. I think a lot of companies, Zoho है, Freshworks है, they are doing good in that. And
Mm-hmm.
उस कैटेगरी में जाने का कोई फायदा नहीं है जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी इतने अच्छे अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं. आई रिस्पेक्ट ऑल दीज
Hmm.
entrepreneurs and companies that they built. But छोटे मोटे like mini kind of CRM जिसमें because the people who fetch contact from our product, we got a lot of requests कि आप in contact के आगे if you could do some task management or remarks or follow up system in place. So small features we are building, but we are not going to sell it as a separate CRM as such.
Nice, nice. Nitin, I would definitely love to talk more, but yeah, I know like time is a crunch. But yeah, last thing I would love to know, like whenever anyone applies in your company, as a SaaS salesperson, or they wanted to have a job, what kind of thing you wanted to have in them? Like, is there any kind of training? Is there any kind of mindset? Is there any kind of work role profile which we have done in past? What you want to have them?
One of the various qualities में सबसे most important quality जो मुझे लगती है that is curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
right? If a person is curious enough, they can learn any skill, they can learn anything that they want. Like
Mm-hmm.
for example, I was taking some interviews yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
और decision making हमारे यहाँ बहुत fast होता है. So I took some interviews. I specifically mentioned them that when you come on the interview, you should at least read what EasyLeadz is. वो बोलने की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़नी चाहिए, but लोगों को फिर भी बोलना पड़ता है. And come prepared with at least 3 points on how you can add value to EasyLeadz. And if I see they don't have any answer to that or don't have any clue what EasyLeadz is, I don't hire at all. चाहे उनका 5 साल का relevant experience क्यों ना हो, I don't hire. Because if you're not curious enough to learn or have some genuine interest in what you are spending time for, I don't believe you will do that with the customers. So because sales is not easy. You have to follow up. Persistence आप में होना चाहिए and curiosity आप में होनी चाहिए. So I think every quality सबसे top पे जो मैं देखता हूँ, that is curiosity. One guy stood apart yesterday. Interview लेते ही in the next 5 minutes I called him back and he hired. वो कल आज join भी कर चुका है.
Nice.
Yesterday he joined. I took another interview, a few interviews today. We liked the guy. उसको हम शाम को भी after this is done, I'm going to call him and hopefully he'll join in a day or two. तो हम लोग डिसीजंस लेते हैं, बट लोग ना प्रॉब्लम क्या है, लोगों को चाहिए कि नौकरी नहीं है, नौकरी नहीं है, बट दे डोंट पुट एफर्ट्स इन
True.
doing or getting that job. There are jobs available, but if you put in some efforts, show some interest, show some aptitude that you're genuinely interested to have that job, there are plenty of opportunities and people will give you a chance.
True, true. Nitin, I'm done with the last question. I just wanted to know what you do when you feel, demotivated, when you feel like, यार नहीं हो रहा है, ये सोचा था, ये नहीं हुआ था. Like, is there anything which you do to motivate yourself?
आई वॉच सीरीज. मैं तो बैठ जाता हूँ फिर बिंज वॉच करता हूँ. सो आई डोंट ऑनेस्टली, लोग रीड वीड करते हैं, मुझसे तो नहीं होता. आई
Mm-hmm.
डोंट रीड बुक्स. आई जस्ट गो थ्रू ट्विटर, मीम्स वीम्स देखता हूँ मैं मस्त. इलॉन मस्क की आजकल कुछ ज्यादा ही चल रहा है, तो आई एम बिग फैन ऑफ इलॉन. सो आई
Mm-hmm.
go and watch whether he posted anything, and I just go and read all the comments and see how he gives thug life to people. लोग बड़े बड़े बातें लिखेंगे उसके नीचे, he will just tweet one word, $8, and then like get done with it. So I like that kind of humor, and I go and watch binge watch series, and my taste is very particular in series. मैं वो भी नहीं है कि मैं अलग अलग सीरीज डिस्कवर करके देखता हूँ और रिकमेंडेशंस देखता हूँ. आई वॉच द सेम सीरीज अगेन एंड अगेन. सो मतलब 10-10 बार सेम सीरीज देख चुका हूँ और अब 11वीं बार भी वही देखूंगा. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सनालिटी आई हैव.
Nice, nice. So, thank you, Nitin. Thank you. Great talking to you. And thank you for coming. We hope that you will come again very soon. And then we will talk more about what next you are building.
Sure, happy to. Thank you for having me here.